For the first time in 10 days, the U.S. Coast Guard did not have to make any rescues in Texas. In fact, it's beginning to move on, sending helicopters to Florida and Puerto Rico ahead of the next major threat. Hurricane Irma is now a Category 4 storm barreling towards the Caribbean. Meanwhile, in Texas, the destruction is still being tallied. Officials say at least 60 people were killed by the storm. More than 50,000 displaced people are now in hotel rooms. But there is some progress near this plant where trailers full of chemicals were burning. Residents are finally being allowed back into their homes, and Houston's mayor says 95% of his city is dry. But as our Aaron Collins found out, for the other 5%, it's a slow climb back to normal.
Harvey hasn't quite left Houston yet. This highway into downtown from the city's west side looks more like a swimming pool. Nearby Traviata Street remains underwater. But even before the floodwaters recede here, the cleanup has begun.
It would rain in bursts, and the water would come up almost in the house and then recede, come up almost in the house and then recede again. And it did that about 8 times. And the stress of watching that, hoping and praying that it's not going to come into your house, it eats you up.
In the end, it wasn't the rain that caused this mess. Water from an overtaxed reservoir is to blame. Housing developments have paved over the fields here that could have helped drain this water.
The amount of cement that has gone up, especially on the west side of town. You know, the Katy area in the west part of Houston is just outrageous.
Now, Harvey caused billions of dollars in damage in neighborhoods like this across Texas, and contractors are already rolling in.
This is bad. There's people, water still in their house, and until the water goes down, we can't do anything but, be there for them.
You're going to be busy.
We are.
Now, Houston's mayor has promised that this street, this entire city, will be back to normal in a year. A Texas-sized job, but doable.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but some of these people, the neighbors come in, and man, as long as we can get the material, I think we can do it.
And most of Houston is dry now, and even on this street, some, like this transplanted Canadian, dodged a bullet.
You can see here where this paint chip is. That was where the water stopped at my doorstep.
Most of his neighbors weren't so lucky. Still, the mood here remains stubbornly high for now.
Everybody's in good spirits. It'll be curious of the coming weeks. That's going to really tell the story.
Most here don't have flood insurance. Many can't afford to pay for these repairs. So while the storm is long gone, the true costs of it loom ahead. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Houston.